Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson, and as the two teams step out, Natalie attired Honduras. Well, they will be...
That big, beautiful vein of form coming up to...
And that had already been handed over even before the injury. Cunha getting us started. Brazil in their familiar yellow and blue, defending the goal to the right. Izaguirre, and then the sloppy pass back right to Dallas's Brian Acosta. Ray, both of these teams with
as well.
Ball cleared away by Acosta.
Listen, as always, different ways of looking at it.
Line pops up on Izaguirre, the veteran left back. Tries to clear but can't. Figueroa. Sooner or later, you have to win. Is he on? Well, they're on, dragging it into the 18, headed down by Jesus, and it bounces across the goal line. But
backfield, because there was some beautiful embroidered football, and again, it started before this wonderful tic-tac-toe, and then the instinctive diamond pass towards the back here by Dani Alves when it comes back. He's already taken a picture 100 times before he gets...
One back by Honduras in the midfield, attacking Alves, and he has some help.
But for Brazil, it's been hitting the back of the net with any sort of real regularity in games that a lot of people, self-included, thought it would have been more like a basketball score. But the last few games, it's a bright start here for them, and they're looking very good and comfortable on the ball. Again, beautiful.
Interesting how Marquinhos, in the last game, he might have been the only one that really improved his stock, although today in the starting lineup will be Richarlison and David Neres. Though their last two games against South American competition, they have held their own, allowing just one goal in the occupying so much of the same space that he can now claim for his own.
Do it in a different way, though. It's not the type of player that Neymar did as he has been. He's shown it too few times for Barcelona in this past season, so he needs a really good...
Well, it starts out in Kingston just a few days after Brazil starts.
Well, I don't know about that. Jamaica looked pretty good last time I saw them play.
A little skip through by Richarlison.
Played up against the United States that day will give the United States a little bit of an excuse, but Jamaica looked strong and it was a good prep game for sure. I think they'll give this...
It's an exhibition game, a friendly. They're seeing how Silva does on the left.
Still running off the ball themselves, and Brian Acosta, an absolute...
Martinez scored the 90th minute game winner. Former Miami Fusion attacker.
Yeah.
All across Marquinhos.
Such a graceful footballer. Class.
Luis nodded back. Jesus. Richarlison had to wait. Here's Alves again at that danger spot. Well measured. Jesus tried.
Wonderful. Again, look away from Dani Alves. And
nice by Casemiro. Back for Marquinhos.
Quite honest.
For Coito as an international, so a bit short-handed going in without Kyoto there. Alves this time drives it in, deflected away, and Richarlison.
I don't see any comparison. We'll have a milkshake on that one, pal. The United States undoubtedly, but Jamaica played some really nice football.
Things a lot more difficult for the Catrachos, so...
Backing off now, aren't you? In full reverse mode, Phil Shane. Really lately, but coach mixing and matching, experimenting, but I have to regroup a little bit after today's result.
Alves wide for Richarlison. It's the return. Help on the that he's asked for a transfer. take a lot to pry him away. Still a very valuable player going back to one. Some of the latest reports, Casemiro's teammate Keylor Navas might be among those. This time perhaps maybe a little bit more composed, but
space and time.
A crossover everyone for Alves. Measures, delivers. Oh, cleared by Frigo.
Neres is an intentional ball. He saw the centre targets marked up, so he goes to the back post for Dani Alves, who sent in a beautiful ball.
Good header. Goal from the run of play, converted from the spot. Richarlison out wide. Alves walking the chalk, but then it tripped.
Love that body English.
This is where he's so dangerous. Chested down Casemiro.
Oh, some blue and white stripes that need to defend him a little better.
Richarlison down at the penalty spot. Play continues.
Whoa, nicely!
Touch Coutinho. And he hits the other.
They've shown enough in isolated games, those three teams, that show that when they are...
The guard, this is a much younger Honduras team.
Sure. Remember, he had the offices and all the power.
And again, maybe consider the opposite. Neres on this right side, overlap to Alves.
I don't know if he was even looking for Richarlison here, Danny. He's going for that bottom corner. South American players, Liverpool, but a combination of Klopp and a wonderful Manchester City.
Ellis leans to his right, poked away by Alves. Carried away. Isaguirre steps in though.
This is well, different class, Brazil.
Well disguised by the 22-year-old for his first.
There are 7 dwarfs' names, and I want you to give me a Brazilian player that steps up against them.
Not sure who'd be allergic, but let's go Rivaldo.
All right, bashful.
Crisanto just behind Ellis, and he cannot haul it in. Let's go.
Against 10 men now. This is probably going to be down to sportsmanship from Brazil playing so.
Of course, at the same point, from a Brazilian perspective, keeping another clean sheet. Alisson with 23 in his prior 30. Again, revitalized Alves. 36 years of age, Ray. Oldest player on the park.
As well. Now they're being replaced.
Bending ball into the middle. Smashed header. Nice save, Lopez. Firmino denied.
Look at the wonderful save from Alves. The space and time is got though. This Honduras team just not close enough to any of the pressure.
Alves will settle for another corner.
Oh, the best player for Honduras today.
Wide open Coutinho, measures, delivers of late. You figure Honduras and Jamaica would be the 2 favorites.
A little slip right at the end. Cost Firmino a goal. Great Gremio player. Everton makes his introduction to
of 2017, a World Cup qualifier against the U.S. Alves again, because Brazil might not be done yet. Brazil's biggest win ever, also against a CONCACAF foe in 1975. Back into the middle, looking for Richarlison. Lowly midfielder, cleared away. Now, if they were doing this against a full-strength Honduras,
Neres. Them sort of determination on how good this Brazil side is, how bad this is. They haven't had to extend any sort of capacity of real desire.
Just looking back, the ball across from Alves, whacked away. The last result.
And certainly, you look at the likes of Argentina, who've got an absolute rabid front line, but the rest of the team are real, maybe the best of the dark horses, if you can call Colombia that, because they are certainly talent-laden. And football being what it is, the South American teams know they can contend and maybe even beat some of these bigger, brighter lights in development. But this team looks as if they're ready, and they've got the wonderful luxury of great people keeping great players out.
Firmino, but dangerous play on the attack. It's fortunate that Barcelona's season ended a little prematurely. Luis Suarez back, recovered from surgery, and should join team. Well, there is the old axiom that a big loss like this is sometimes easier to put behind you.
They just performed slack marking, wasn't there? So many of the goals.
You can say they haven't scored while he's been on the park.
It's going to be a great opportunity for this Brazil side to be involved in the Copa America, and the sense of not having your best player as well can have a good galvanizing effect. There's a little bit extra edge when it comes to the real showdowns. This man will be leading the way.
Goes to the middle, just glances off. A little bit more of a rough go, but here today, not so.
Well,
Alves.
I mean, Phil, the maintenance of their best form, which has been some sparkle as he.
Again, I'd say for me, it's this man wearing the captain's armband like he was born with it, and his new role as a provider. It's not 90th minute, just 20 seconds away. A country with 200 million coaches, it seems.
Defensively, this side as well, Phil. Right from the back, you've got the marauding Dani Alves, of course, on one side, and certainly on the other. That's a scary proposition.
And again, in this situation, Chiche talked about how France impressed him. He's changed. 5 saves for Lopez. Alves puts it out for the throw. Barcelona. And in some ways, that's been missing the last few years. Push forward just a bit. No signal as to the final amount of added time. Have to be headed towards the final whistle.